It's Linda MacPhee's workshop. Here's Linda.
You hear that music, so you know it's time for Sew and Show again. And we've got some fun stuff lined up for you today because I use my sewing machine so much. And perhaps Christmas is the time when I really get that machine smoking. In fact, one time, the power went off on Christmas Eve. Can you imagine anything worse? I was really in trouble that time. But Christmas is such a fun time to make and share things, and I just keep going and going and going until they finally say it's Christmas. But the other thing that I've done this year is I've traveled a lot. And on my travels, well, actually, I've known my guest for a long time, Jan, from the Sewing Basket in Salmon Arm. And, I mean, you've been on my team. We've been friends for about 20 years, wouldn't it be?
15, Linda,
15. Because you've had the Sewing Basket, which is a wonderful little shop out in Salmon Arm in beautiful British Columbia for, this is your 20th year.
Right.
So what do you say? How can you keep in business for 20 years?
Well, I have a wonderful, wonderful group of sewing friends and customers. I have
customers are what keep us alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
They tune in and they watch the show, so that's good.
Right. Support us.
Yes.
And I have an extremely good staff. And I just love to share what I do.
You can't keep a secret.
No.
I know that feeling. So, yes, I think that's what it's all about, is helping people. But I think once, and you mentioned this too, that sometimes people come in and say, I can't do any of this, I can't sew, I can't do this. And you said the program that we've got lined up today is for people that are really afraid of any of this stuff. They think it's too complicated. They think they can't do it.
Right.
So you're going to show us that this is just instant.
A few little things that even if you haven't sewn a stitch, you can whip up some.
And you don't have to even have a sewing machine in some cases, but a sewing machine is good. And you
exactly.
But here you've got some wall hangings, and basically you've just put these together with the Christmas theme. And here is one. Here is another. And there's no sewing. This is
absolutely no sewing.
Yeah.
And each one of these
and it looks like you're an artist because
pieces.
You've drawn all this stuff, but you're going to show us that you don't have to do that. You could make the wreath. So let's just do this.
Well, actually, what I like to do is choose some fabric that's got all kinds of interesting things on it, decide on the colors and whatnot.
Well, I think, isn't this amazing? Because, I mean, the fabrics these days have got little bits of gold and all. I mean, you can look at this and you say, yeah, this is just ready to be cut out. It's calling to be cut out.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I do is I take other people's prints, cut them apart, rearrange them, put them back together in my own design.
Perfect.
And so
this is not rocket science.
No,
this is
no, anybody can do it instantly.
Yes, okay.
A gift in a minute kind of thing.
Perfect.
If you just take a piece of fabric,
like this,
and then press it onto a fusible. You need to use a fusible for the back.
This is where you got to be careful. You don't want to cut any of these designs because you can use them all.
Exactly. You don't want to. So what I would do is just lay this on the fusible and press it down.
But you want your Teflon sheet here.
Exactly.
So this is where the non-sewers would be stuck in their iron on that and get iron all over.
You need to use a Teflon sheet or the fusible will get on your iron and that's
when they're mad and they don't do this anymore and they say, I don't like to do this, I'll go buy it.
Now, one other thing about the fusible is you make sure your iron isn't too hot, because if it's too hot, then the glue goes into the fabric and it
doesn't come out again.
It comes off. I've had a couple of the prints come off just recently. I didn't realize it did that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make another little hanging. And what I find is when you're doing making the palette, I call it the palette, if you just sew a channel and then flip it, and then
it's double. It's right sides together. I think this is a good idea because otherwise you'd have to hem this edge, and that's kind of painful because you have to hem it straight and whatever.
So if you just sew down both sides, flip it inside out.
So here's let me just
right
put
side
this.
out, rather.
Here it is, right sides together, which is the thing you got to remember about sewing. Right sides together, and you've put a little bit of batting in there.
That's right. Yeah, any kind of light
sew that
batting.
side and sew that side, flip it. You mentioned that if you sew across the end and try and do that, sometimes it kind of screws.
Yeah, it does. You get a lot of little puckers and whatnot. And then if you just take the end and fold it over, fold it to the right side.
Like this, because that's a raw edge. Now how do we cover that?
And then just put a little bit of trim on there, whichever direction you'd like it to be. Sure. So the trim on in one...
we've got a casing there.
Exactly. You've got your seam and everything finished in one step.
So then let's put some design.
Okay. Well, I've got some cut out here. I pre-cut them, of course, because it takes too long to...
Sure.
You don't want to watch me cutting.
And this is kind of a mindless thing. You can be sitting...
It is.
I was going to say, you can watch TV, watch our show, and do this.
Right. Yeah. And I've got the glue on the back already. I've got
so that's already... You fused the whole thing and then cut them
and remove the paper. This particular one has paper on it.
This is a perfect print for this because it looks almost like a wreath for sure with the cones and the leaves and the stuff. So we can
you can just kind of put it however you want to. I've, of course, tried this once before to make sure
So
that
you
it all...
know you want to put one like this and this.
Yeah. Pop this in here. And again, like we said, you don't have to take a class or anything for this. You can just check out your fabric.
In fact, I think if you got somebody else sitting there watching TV, they could be doing some cutting too.
Exactly.
Like there's nothing female
That's
or
when I
male
cut
about
it.
this. Yeah. You've got all the cones going on the inside. That's good.
Now, you can fiddle around with this for hours if you want to get it right.
Yeah.
And if you want to put some...
And that's from a different piece of fabric.
Exactly. Now
so
I've
we
taken
find some flowers someplace.
Taken some poinsettia fabric, cut out a few poinsettias.
Yeah, and they've got the fusible on them. So really, what we need to do is once you've got all these arranged whatever way you want,
sure, and you
just
can
put your Teflon sheet on. Actually, you don't even probably need it, but it's not a bad idea.
No, I actually don't even bother putting the Teflon sheet on the top because there isn't any that shows.
No,
but if you're taking it to your ironing board,
if this was something metallic or something that you might,
okay, if you want to put a few little things there, you can press that down, and that's it. Yeah. You've got a
Sure. So we'll assume that that's done because I think we've got some more coming
lots
up here.
To show you, yeah.
All right, we'll just roll that one out of the way.
Now another.
I thought the stocking was a good idea.
These stockings. Now everybody needs stockings at Christmas, and you can make your own, or if you're a little bit.
Squeaky.
Yeah,
why not?
Run around after Christmas and buy yourself some stockings that are on sale.
These are already, and they're cheap, so it's probably cheaper to buy them than make them even.
Okay, that little piece of fabric that I just done with the purple flowers on it.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, what I did was I cut out
that one, wherever
I just cut out the ribbons on it, and it's all got the fusible. And now you can arrange that if you like.
Okay, so we could go up into there, or it could. I mean, you could.
Or if we turn this, let's see. Let's try this.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Then we'll take another little ribbon down here. So if you just kind of overlap the ends a little bit.
So you can put as much or as little on as you want. These flow very nicely, and they could overlap.
There you go. Yeah. Instant. That's how quick you can make a stocking.
You are a master at this, yeah. And so to do that, then I would put my Teflon sheet on top.
Right, exactly. You would on this.
Yeah.
And if any little spots where it joins, you can just pop in another little thing.
So we could keep adding.
Sure. Yeah. Or something as simple as that.
Sure. What I think is just outstanding with this is Jan has done Christmas cards, and I love Christmas cards. I think Christmas cards are so special to me. I think it's, and this is kind of mean, but I think it's such a cop-out to just go buy a bunch of Christmas cards and sign your name and send them.
Well,
it just doesn't seem to do
them,
it.
Right?
I just like to have a little thought put into it.
Now, show
me what you've done.
Well, these are a few things. They're not all Christmas cards. Some of them are thank you cards.
Well, true.
Really
we need cards for all kinds of.
And you can actually make these little specialty cards. If you have a sewing friend, you can make a sewing card. Or you can make Easter cards, Valentine cards.
Okay, so really the whole idea is the same. You're going to then find some fabric that's got some kind of designs on it. But I think the idea of you using old cards is quite delightful.
Right, because I love to find these old cards, especially these ones that have, like this one, for instance, on it. Christmas wishes.
Yeah, we could cut that out.
Exactly. And then you can put that on the front. And what I've done here...
Okay, that's good.
We can grab some of Linda's cards. But Linda, don't throw your cards away now. You can you can reuse them. And I've got some little birds cut out here, so we can...
And that's from fabric, so this is fabric birds, which is kind of neat. So
put those on.
Yeah.
And then I've cut out a little season's greetings.
Yeah, and we can just glue that on with a glue stick or something, so that we don't even have to fuse that. So that's there. That's
real quick and easy to do. Yeah. So you can really do your cards pretty quick. And I was saying my daughter actually is a teacher, and I was showing her these little...
I think it's kind of neat the way you've sort of stitched, but it isn't stitched. It's just with a felt pen.
Yeah, that's right. It is just using a pen. Now, if I just put this over here.
But I think you said your daughter, grade 3 class?
Right.
And she had this as a project.
She decided for Christmas that maybe they would make a Christmas card.
Yeah.
And she said 3 cards later, they're still saying, oh, can I make another one?
And I think it's a great way to teach recycling and sort of teaching the spirit of making and giving and creating and doing something for somebody else. I think, we've got...
little ribbons.
Oh, I think the things are great. Yeah. Cards are super. So, we've got a whole table full of stuff.
So we got to get on with it.
And we've got a baby coming up. So we're going to take a break, but we'll be right back.
Okay, that sounds great.
Christmas doesn't get much better than this, so for my sort of granddaughter, I'm her best more. That's the way it works. We've made a fun little outfit for her. So here, actually, this is a purchase dress because you don't always have to make them, but I thought you need to make a pinafore to go over whatever outfit. And of course, you've got to make a little hat. So, Ella, can we have your hat? Oh, yeah, you like this. Okay. I'll take your hat, and we're going to make... So you've got grandchildren, haven't you, Jen?
You bet.
So thank you, Mama and Ella. That was great. Bye-bye. You can wave bye-bye. Oh, you can patty cake, too. That's good. Oh, you can do it all. So I think a little hat to go with any outfit and any kind of a grandchild, bigger or smaller. So what I did was I sort of cut out an oval, and this is the lining, so I sort of tried it on the lining, and I made my opening with the seam allowance the size of the head, which is about 19 inches, 18 inches, something in there. And then I thought, well, let's make it out of the real fabric. So here is a kind of a cute fabric as well. So it's just right sides together, stitch around the edge.
And do you clip these?
Yes,
Linda?
of course. Yes, I would. And I would just take little V's. When you've got an outside curve, you know, you want to cut the V's. If you've got an inside curve, you just do the slits. So you'd cut all that around, flip this in like this. And, of course, we would do this carefully and press it nicely. Take these pins out of here and put this inside so that this is... Get pins away from babies.
Right.
Put this inside, and really the easiest way to finish this now is to put a piece of ribbing on it.
Oh.
And then the ribbing is stretchy.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So
Isn't
I just made
lovely?
a piece of ribbing, and this will now stitch right sides together on there. And then when this finishes, you'll have just the cutest little
and look.
I put a little piece of fleece in the middle. So there's a little ribbon.
Darling.
In fact, if you look at this one, I didn't have enough fabric to do it as solid, so I just did it in 4 pieces. So, you know.
I noticed that. That's very nice.
It could be made out of anything. So that's the hat. Then we've got the pinafore. We managed to get it off Ella, because she did like this little pinafore.
Oh, yes.
But I think the idea of pinafores is a really old-fashioned one, and I think it's such a nice idea for dressing up. And these don't have to be babies. They could be, as long as, you know, they won't wear them probably when they're about 6.
No,
but something up to that age.
Than that. Yes, for sure.
So what we did is we chose a fabric, and this could be a cotton. We used actually a crinkled nylon, because it looks kind of crinkly, and it's going to get wrinkled, so it might as well be crinkled. And we put the lace, and this is just very inexpensive lace.
Just flat.
Just flat. So we actually made a bottom, and this is going to be a ruffle. This is going to be the body here. So this ruffle is twice the distance of this. And we actually worked it out. Oh, we even got the dress. Ella, you were quick. We even got the dress. So we kind of built it around the dress. So how long does it need to be? Well, we want it to be the skirt about there, the little bib here, and then the straps.
And the width?
The width, double this. So we did that. So this is going to gather onto this, and we put the lace on there first so that will come down. So this is all going to get gathered. So you just run a gathering thread and pull it and gather it. It's going to be about twice as big. And then we're going to gather this onto the waist.
Right.
So run the gathering thread through there again and gather it onto this waist, which is just simply a piece with lace on both sides.
And this is twice the size of this?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So again, there's no real pattern, although we will have all the directions in this book. So it doesn't, you can figure it out. Then there's going to be some of this left. We're going to make the bib, put this in the center, and then this is going to cover, actually there's a folded edge of that, so I'll put that at the top like that. I get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. So there's the bib.
Well, that's a good idea. You put your little fold at the top.
And then we're going to cover those edges with this. So this would go underneath here and top stitch in. Put the other piece along there.
And you've got your...
And you've got, And we put a little piece of Velcro at the back to hold it on. And again, it's sort of one size fits most. You can make it shorter, you can make it longer. You can do lots of things with that.
A pinafore or a sundress.
Yes, it could be a sundress.
Yeah.
So that I thought was just kind of a neat idea. So let's take that one away. Because while I was on the Christmas theme, I got going on cushions. And I do so much with fleece, as you know, and you've been involved with fleece for a lot of times, too.
Lots of fleece, yeah.
So I thought cushions would be kind of nice. So here is a fleece cushion. And really the fleece gives you depth because it's thick on thick.
It doesn't fray, so it's easy
to
work
perfect.
with.
So it's sort of like felt, except that it's not going to fall apart.
Yeah.
So what we did then is just cut out some shapes. So these are pieces.
Cut out all the little petals?
Yeah, I never throw away anything. So here's a chunk that I could just cut out. And sometimes
you didn't use a pattern, you just
just chunk. Yeah. So sometimes I do bigger ones, and sometimes I put some more in the center, depending on how I feel and how ambitious I am getting. So
do you put them all together first and then stitch
and
around
then I take my stitches. And it's tough to see because I wanted to make this invisible. So here it is with just zigzag, and it's on and off the edge with the widest zigzag that you've got.
And invisible thread?
And invisible thread, then you don't have to change the thread.
Right.
And put a little center. This is just a little center with a few beads stuck on it, and that will go in the middle. And then, to put this together, let me find the back of this. Here it is, I think. So we're going to have this. And then the back we made in 2 pieces. And this was perfect because this was a little bit dirty, so that's fine. It's not going to show.
For the inside, sure.
Yeah. And then this is going to go there. So just make sure that this overlaps.
How much do you like it to overlap?
A couple of 3 inches, because
so it stays.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're just going to sew around that entire edge. Flip it. Put in your cushion.
And there you have your pillow.
Yeah. And I think you just dress up the pillow that you had on your couch, and all of a sudden when you put on these pillows, they just have they just make the place look like Christmas.
So you just take all your pillows that are already on your couch,
yes, exactly. Redress them.
Oh,
this one was an inspiration from this. I found this is actually cards, and I don't usually buy cards, but I like this box. So here is the inspiration from that. I just simplified it even further.
Nice too, yes.
So again, with this one, I just cut out strips of fleece and laid them down, and then these tuck underneath and zigzag. So actually, one thing that I did learn on this, and I must share it with you, I start in the center, and then I go stitch down here, stitch down there, down here, stitch down here, down here, down here, stitch, 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 stitch,
so
back to the center,
all the way around.
and keep going, and so on. Because otherwise you sort of think, well, where do I start? And you're going back and forth, so that's a simple way to make it all sort of work. I didn't measure and fuss, because no snowflake.
And you used your pinking shears, I see.
Actually, no. This is it's just zigzagged. It looks kind of like you pinked it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's just a zigzag.
Yes, it does do that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you can use your scraps.
But do remember, there's no 2 snowflakes the same.
Exactly.
Isn't that joyful?
Exactly. Yes.
So do play around with some cushions. But you've got some other gift ideas.
Well, I have a few more things here for. I've got to show you these jars. These are my gift jars, I call them, and these you can customize to
their customer,
whoever you need to make a gift for. And this is for those dog lovers. So what I've started with is just a plain little jar. I cut out
dogs. And there's dog fabric out there,
And I actually ironed this on with the iron. You can't iron on glass. And I've ironed on everything from walls to shoes, lampshades.
Okay.
Anyway, if you just iron your little dogs on there, fill it up with some bones and put a little bow.
And put the hat on.
And I just tied a few little dog bones. This is great.
Perfect.
For a sewing friend or whoever. Actually, it's good for somebody that doesn't sew that much because they need to know where their sewing supplies are. And I've just put everything in here from
needles threads and pin cushion and tape measure and elastic guide
and lots of little buttons and all kinds of things.
But if you'll notice, all these things are also ironed on the side then.
Right.
And we had a piece of fabric.
I do have a piece of fabric with all those on.
Yeah. So you look at fabric in a whole new way, don't you?
Because this is the fabric that I cut out, all these individual little things. And you can glue them on. If you have a little trouble ironing them on to the glass, you can glue them on. Then I made a pin cushion on the top just with half a styrofoam ball, a little bit of batting.
All right.
And trim it with a piece of your fabric. I also put a little pocket for your scissors because we never can find our scissors, can we?
So put them in there, sure.
And then I just put it on with a little piece of elastic.
Great little gift idea. I think personal gifts, to me, that's what makes Christmas.
Sure.
I just want to make things.
And for a gardener, you could do something for a gardener or whatever.
Sure.
This is really kind of an interesting little gift.
So here we go with growth chart. And what child should not have a growth chart?
That was actually a panel that was a crib panel. And I thought, I don't like just buying things that are totally already there.
Looks like
so
you just
cut it all apart.
It looks like you didn't make it. And this looks like you made it.
Well, and I'm not that much of an artist, so
it's already there.
You can put it together.
Yeah. Okay, we're just about out of time. Let's show some more gifts.
Okay, we've got some oven mitts. These oven mitts I love to make because there's a nice little liner in them.
And the good news about oven mitts is they don't have to be right or left-handed.
No.
They're just mitts.
And you can make a different cover for every occasion.
Well, that's true. There's more occasions than Christmas. There's all kinds of Thanksgiving and Easter and whatever.
Make yourself a little apron.
Matching apron. Yeah. And change the outside of your... you need to wash these things anyway. That's
exactly.
A good idea. Yeah.
This also goes... irons onto wood every bit as well. There isn't anything you can't put it on.
No, that's true. You just keep ironing.
Jen, these are all...
We're pretty well out of time. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks, Jan. I'll be out to see you pretty soon. But next we got Jonny Seww coming up, and I think you're going to enjoy this one. No festive occasion would be perfect without music, and I've got that for you because Jonny Seww is here. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
What got you doing this whole sewing music thing?
It all began with clothes and sewing, Linda.
Because your wife...
She sews all my garments.
I know she uses a lot of my patterns, and that's great.
Yes,
Yeah. And, of course, you've been a singer for a long time?
For many years. Enjoyed it. That's my hobby. Sewing is hers. Tied the two together. No pop Jonny Seww.
Perfect. Okay, I think let's hear it. Take it away, Jonny.
Thank you so much. Her old sewing machine just broke down today. She can't give him up, no matter what I say. She's trusted him so long in oh so many ways. He'll keep her safe and warm until his dying days. They've been special friends for so long now. They couldn't live without each other. They fit so good together. She knows how it feels. What good is the book without its cover? Hey, look over there. Now what is that? Is that the new boy in town? Oh, wow, what a Cadillac. He's got everything that this boy lacks. Oh, what can she do? She's slipping off the tracks. Yeah. Friends for so long now. They couldn't live without each other. They fit so good together. She knows how he feels. What good is the book without its cover? Hey, look over there. Now what is that? Is that the new boy in town? Whoa, what a Cadillac. There isn't anything that this boy lacks. Oh, what can she do if she's slipping off the... Oh, what can she do? Can she take this new boy back? Don't look back.
Bravo!
Thank you.
Bravo!
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonny. This is a sewing show full of surprises. You never know who or what you might run into. Are there more where this came from?
Absolutely. Have a new CD coming out.
Join us next time.
Thank you.
And we'll have so much fun all over again because that's what this is all about.
Pleasure.
To receive the companion book for this series, send $19.98 to the address on your screen or call 1-888-MacPhee.